in prime time to the Boston Celtics. Anthony Davis does return, but it was the Celtics who had lost 3 in a row that came ready for the fight. Big game, James. Just some numbers here for you. The 32-point loss, worst of the season for the Lakers, and the 139 points most allowed this year.
Yeah, it was not a good game for the Lakers, especially in Boston. They just didn't have all the effort and the concentration that they needed. Boston's a good team. They had lost 6 out of their last 8. I hope they weren't going in playing that record, but they're very athletic. They got some guys that can switch and keep up with our players and guards. But the Lakers lost a lot of categories tonight, just about everything. Points in the paint, turnovers. It wasn't a good performance from the beginning to the end. So just one of those games, ugly, stinker. Going to have one of those every now and then.
For sure. I mean, it's hard to put into words like the adjustment when everybody's there and when guys are not there, and AD in particular. It's hard to describe. Like, I remember having games where if Kobe's playing or not playing, or if Gasol is playing or not playing, it changes everybody's role, when shots are going to be there. And when you're one of those other role guys, when you see, like, Shaq and Kobe there, you kind of feel like your 2 big brothers are handling it. Like, if they need us, they'll call us.
Yeah.
and so when AD's back tonight, I'm sure psychologically for a number of the Lakers, it was kind of like, bro, we got the best team in the league. Yeah. LeBron and AD going to go out there and do work. They're going to get 30 each, and then I'll fill in where I need to. And it was one of those nights where you really actually needed other guys to be really aggressive. And like James said, just, it happens from time to time during the season, and just wasn't their night.
We don't like when it happens with Boston.
No, definitely not.
February 23rd. Circle that one.
Actually is kind of disappointing, too, just in moments like this, though they happen throughout the course of an 82-game season, this is a squad, the Lakers, who have been one of those teams that fight back, who have won close games, who have beat teams on the road. Again, they came in 18-3. And when you're playing in an environment, a hostile environment such as that one, you know that you have to be sharp mentally. And after that 8-0 start, it was Boston the entire way. I think at one point they'd outscored them by 30.
Yeah.
And you know that it's just not going to be one of those opportunities to be able to fight back in that when the mind is just not there.
Yeah, and Big Game, you talked about losing every category. The ones that jump off the table at me are the 14 offensive rebounds for 24 points. That was 13 offensive rebounds for 20 points in the first half alone for the Celtics. So they got a little bit better there, but the damage was already done. Minus 27 in three-point shooting. 15 turnovers for 28 points. All the hustle categories lost.
50-50 balls.
Yeah, everything.
And we
got at work tonight.
And we know that we usually dominate in those areas. So it's just a matter of, getting together, rebooting yourself on this road trip, this next game. Fish was so accurate. He was so accurate when I remember when maybe Magic was out of a game or Kareem was out of the game. You come together as a team, and, when you come back, it's subconsciously. You don't do it on purpose. It just kind of happens because you know that, like Fish said in pregame, the volume of your shots are going to go down, when AD comes back. So they really needed it, that their bench and the collective effort from other players, because we didn't think AD was going to be dominant in 28 minutes. So they just failed to do it together as a team.
Fish, you saw in his canter right there. He did a lot of his damage in the first half. I mean, all 18 points, all the offensive rebounds, 18 and 8 in that first half.
I mean, one of the ways to combat the Lakers leading the league in shot blocking is to crash the offensive glass. In order to block those shots when guards are penetrating JaVale, Dwight, AD, they're leaving the body of their offensive player to go block the shot at the rim, which then opens up driving lanes and crashing lanes for guys like Enes Kanter, who live at the front of the backboard. And so you have to tip your cap to him doing that dirty work. A lot of teams don't crash the offensive glass as much because of the spacing and the three-point shooting. But tonight, that was really problematic for the Lakers, something they'll have to remember when they see this team again next month.
James, you talked about the Celtics having lost 6 of their last 8. They lost 3 in a row. They've been challenged over the last handful of games to prove that they can put 48 minutes together. So they already have that kind of mindset going in. And then, Kemba Walker reminded today that he was 28-0
0-28.
0-28. Wow. Yeah. Versus
about that.
LeBron James.
0-28.
And he puts up 20 plus. I mean, this
Yeah.
is a guy that can easily, I think he's been underrated for his career, but can certainly control and dictate the tempo and the pace. And Kara Lawson, I was listening to her for the Celtics saying that we know how athletic and the size that the Lakers bring. So let's outpace them.
That's what they did.
Let's control that tempo and run. And Kemba led and spearheaded all of that.
Big story tonight going into the game was the return of Anthony Davis. Everyone was kind of hoping he'd play in the Houston game. He was not ready. So for 13 days, the Lakers did not see him. They played 5 games. They went 4-1. Tonight, he returns. Fish, I want to ask you this first. 23 minutes, just 9 points, 3 of 7, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. Never really seemed in sync. How much of those 2 quick fouls affected possibly? And what did you see from him tonight?
Yeah, I thought the 2 quick fouls, just changed a little bit of his rhythm and timing. It's already tough enough coming back from being out for 2 weeks and 5 games. But when you're not able to kind of flush that out of your system in that first run, now you're almost kind of starting over when you come in the game in the second quarter. And you could just tell he never really quite had the burst, the foundation underneath his body that we're accustomed to seeing. And he'll get better as his road trip goes on. But it for sure impacted, in particular on the defensive end, the Lakers really missing the normal AD.
And it's got to be difficult when you play at a pace that he plays at, every night dominating. The guy's been dominating on both ends of the court. Take a couple of days off. It's hard to get back to that. You just can't get back to that intensity that quickly. So I'm glad he played tonight. Get the rust off, and we'll move forward. We'll move forward, yeah.
It's 1 of 82 in January.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Never want to lose. You never want to lose to the Celtics.
No.
Of course. It's a tough one.
We'll get him back.
Let's get you to
No
Boston.
Celtic ass this evening,
No Celtic
Peter.
ass. Anthony Davis back in the lineup tonight after missing the last 5 games. So well put, James.
I had it on reliable authority before this game started that the Boston Celtics, it was going to be their night. 69-55 is the Boston lead over the Lakers. That voice of authority, I believe, was Charles Barkley, who guaranteed a Celtic victory tonight. After we had pointed out that Kemba Walker in his career in games against LeBron James was 0 for 28. But the Celtics lead it 69-55. It's the American Express halftime report, everybody, and we've got the American Express teammates from the first half. For the Boston Celtics, who lead it by double digits. Jason Tatum's got 15. Kemba Walker got himself 11, looking for that first win against LeBron. And this is in a game the Celtics got punched in the mouth right out of the gate, fell behind 8-0, and they lead at 69-55. You had no doubt, did you, Kenny, when Charles was making this proclamation?
I have a lot of doubt. I still have doubt.
But what, this is something, boy, Boston needs a half like this, as much as they have been struggling.
I'm going to get Shaq roused up just by this comment. These 3 guys with Boston, and this is why he guaranteed to me, with Kemba, with Jason Tatum, and Brown, they're like a smaller version of what Clay, Steph,
Hey, man.
No, it's all a version. In this regard. No regard. Stop. I'm going to tell you. That's what I want to get him. Stop. In this regard, I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you in this regard.
Stop it,
In this
killer.
regard. I'm not saying them. I just love messing with Shaq. I knew he was going to go there. But anyway, the fact that this is why Boston is tough. Honestly, it's not. They're nowhere near those 3 players. But let's roll and say is the fact that each of these guys command so much attention off the dribble. Here you have Kemba commanding 2 players. Boom. Now you get it back out, you throw it over to Hayward, and it gets back over to Brown, and now freeze it here. Because most guys here, they're going to look for the roller. But LeBron has eyes on Brown. Bradley has eyes on Brown. Kuzma has eyes on Brown. There's no way he should score, but he does not only score, he's able to get to the rim and make a tough shot to go in. That's one guy. The same thing again with Jason Tatum. We know his isolation skill. He went to Kobe in one summer. His isolation skill and his pick and roll skill off the dribble is phenomenal for his young age. Again, then the best in the business almost at this. Best young guards in the business at doing this is Kemba. He doesn't get the shot he wants now, but Avery Bradley frees it. Avery Bradley is probably still one of the top 10 defenders at that position in the league. But watch, he gets Avery back, and he backs you up, and then he gets back into the shot. So, yes, 3 guys that could score. I just want the best for Shaq.
Come on, man, stop it. I agree with Shaq.
That's why you guarantee, because they got 3 guys could score.
That's not why I guarantee.
Oh, you just was saying this.
Only team with 3 starters averaging 20 is the Boston Celtics.
Yes.
That's difficult. You don't think that's very difficult?
That's 60 points.
But that's
Only
3
team in the
guys.
league that
Only
has
team
3
that has
starters
3
doing
guys
it.
that could do that.
I'm just telling you, the reason I like the Celtics tonight was, number one, they were due for when you play LeBron, Anthony Davis, and the Lakers, Celtics, you're going to be pumped for the game. I thought the Lakers would have a letdown going on national television, beating the Rockets Saturday night. They're going to get Anthony Davis back. They're like, okay, we're automatically better. We're going to have a letdown. That's why I thought the Celtics would win tonight.
Limited minutes for Anthony Davis in the first half. 12 minutes as he makes his return. 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. LeBron's got 13 and 8 assists to lead the Lakers.
I'm about to rile Kenny up. LeBron is his 17th season, leading the league in assists. Players like one of my teammates named Mike Penberthy. Right here, the first play of the game. Mike used to do this to me all the time. LeBron throws the lob to my main man, JaVale McGee. See, Mike used to do this all the time. He used to call a play, right? But then when you go back door, Mike Penberthy would make the same pass. He was a great player. I hope Kenny's not getting riled up. But no, LeBron, look, 17th season. You shouldn't double him. If you double him, he will find this guy wide open.
You would double him, Shaq? What would you do with LeBron right there?
Let him get his numbers. 17th year.
Scoring numbers.
17th year, I would say get 40 every night. But he won't be able to sustain that. But one of the weaknesses of the Lakers is when LeBron goes out the game, they don't have a playmaker. That's one of the reasons they really need a play.